What's up, everybody? Yes, indeed, I am back, man. You guys already know what time it is with this cat right here. I don't talk about it, I stay about it. Well, anyways, people, first and foremost, I gotta give a shout out to all my channel members, my subscribers, my followers, and everyone that's been interacting with my channel. And for those of you that are new to viewing my channel, this is a fitness channel with a twist. I normally elaborate just a little bit on, let's say, nutrition, and then I end with the story. The stories usually are about either doing time behind them walls or just my life experiences or stuff that people question me about or want me to, if they want me to elaborate on another content creator's thing, I will do that as well. You know what I mean? I keep it respectful. You know what I mean? I'm not here to bash anybody. I tip my hat to anybody that's out here on the grind doing their thing. Okay, so before I move on into anything, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on all. And when you hit that notification bell, when you hit that subscribe button, make sure you go to that notification bell, remove it from personalized, and put it to all. That way you get notified with all the content that I drop. Because I'm constantly putting out information about nutrition, fitness, and it's very informative, for your overall health. That's what I do. If you want to get signed up with my fitness program, you could shoot me a DM, High Power Fitness. I have a Instagram that you guys may want to go look at. That way you could have some type of security and reassurance of who I am. My Instagram is High Power Fitness, high_power_fitness_. You could go over there and check out my material. I got over 2 years of material. I got over 2 years of me hitting the gym at 2 o'clock in the morning, never missing. I went from fat to fit to ripped. The proof is in the pudding. I have testimonials from team members. I have testimonials from civilians. I even actually have some meal preps right there that you guys could run in and get you some basic results. Once you get them basic results, because you will come to a plateau, that's when you can reach out to me and sign up with my team, man. I'll take you to that next level. I'll get you to becoming that 10.5. And the reason why I say that 10.5 is that's the reason how I got my name, High Power Fitness. I know a lot of people try to speculate and say this, that, this, and that. Okay, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. You know what I mean? Save it. You know what I mean? Save it for where it really counts. This is social media, people. You know what I mean? This right here, what I do is a avenue to promote my business. Obviously, I'm getting monetized now, which is, hey, man, it's a plus. All money's good money, baby. You know what I mean? But at the beginning, I wasn't using this for monetary purposes. You know what I mean? And I still don't look at it that way because I really don't pay attention to the amount of money that YouTube shoots me. It's not much. You know what I mean? You guys, my main source of income is through my online coaching. I have team members all around the world. I help people change their lives. I help them break limited beliefs. This is what I do. Okay, so anyways, people, I'm gonna elaborate on things that are being said, you know what I mean, with the prison system and how it's changed and all that, you know what I mean? There's some big changes, you know what I mean? Because, like I said, doing time, when I did time, man, was way different. We had our beliefs, and, we had rules that we had to follow by, and, if you didn't, you went against the grain, there were severe consequences. But nowadays, it seems like it's, there's so many, exceptions to the rule now. You know what I mean? And if you got long paper, it seems like you could get away with everything, so. But anyways, man, I'm gonna put you guys up on a little game right here with a keto diet, okay? A keto diet, man, for those of you that ain't familiar with like a ketogenic diet, it basically is a low-carb, high-fat diet that will force the body to burn fat for energy instead of carbohydrates. Okay, so by lowering your carb intake, the body produces ketones, which are molecules that can be used for energy by the brain and the other organs. So there's your basic rundown on the nutrition. I know a lot of people say, hey, you don't speak enough on it, this, and that. Well, if I give out too much information for free, how am I supposed to capitalize off of the knowledge that I've obtained over the years? You know, there's value to all the ground and pound that I put in and the knowledge that I've acquired throughout my years. You know, I should be compensated. And that's what I do. That's how I make a living, people. Yes, I know there's this one individual that says that I should be promoting this, and that, and workout machines and new health drinks, this and that. Why? They don't pay me for it. Why am I going to promote a company that they ain't going to compensate me? You know, that's crazy. You know, I do my workouts and my nutrition in the most healthiest and cleanest form. You know, supplements are good. I don't mock them. I don't down talk them. You know what I mean? Because everybody's body is going to be different. At the end of the day, you know, you may need a supplement that your body can no longer produce, or you may need a supplement that that you really can't get much of through food. You know, so obviously that's where supplements come into play, you know, like I said. And for those of you taking those 1-a-day vitamins, and if you're on a keto diet, you need to stay away from those, because majority of them are made with maltodextrin, and that maltodextrin, you know, spikes and registers so high on the glycemic chart, way higher than glucose. Glucose is somewhere around like 60, and maltodextrin is like almost like 3.5 times that registry of, you know, the way it registers, something like 180 or 240, something like that. I forget the exact measurements, but it's worse for you than regular glucose, people. So there's a quick tip of the day, man. Well, anyways, people, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, put your notification bell on all. And if you want to get started in your fitness journey, you already know what time it is. You could shoot me a DM on my Instagram, High Power Fitness. It's high_power_fitness_. Or you could email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. Oh, real quick, somebody asked me about the pancreas. I almost forgot about that. Pancreas, I'm going to tell you what the pancreas is. The pancreas is an organ of the digestive system and an endocrine system of vertebrates. Okay? Short and sweet. That's that. Now, with that being said, I'm going to elaborate just a little bit on the prison system. The prison system has changed so much. Times are different, you know what I mean? I see people that are coming out here on social media. They're posting stuff up, and they're actually posting it from prison. I'm aware of people that are talking from behind them walls on the horn now with individuals. At the end of the day, you know, I believe what I was taught, and I may not agree with it, but I'm not living that life no more, you know. So what the homies are doing back there, and when I say homies, I'm referring to everybody that's doing time behind them walls. You know, I don't care what race, color, what faction you're from. You know, the ones that are living that life behind the wall, people out here just got to start respecting the way they live, because out here in the real world is different than theirs, you know. It can be very dangerous behind them walls. Yes, times have changed, and I was a firm believer, and I still am a firm believer, but keep in mind, I would never go against the grain. I'm a firm believer, no matter how you look at it, once you roll it up and you go to that other side, you're considered no good. Doesn't mean you're a piece of shit. No, it doesn't. It's just coming from the background that I come from, you're no good. There was no buying your way back. And that's the difference between then, from when I was doing time, to now. You could buy your way back. And now, from my understanding, they have these integrated yards. And with these integrated yards, they're mixing everybody. Now, for those of you that are out here on social media and you really want to be that Mexica warrior, they go catch you a case. Because now you could be in that yard with all of them people that you guys bash, and do your thing. Prove yourself. From what I've been hearing lately, it seems like the SNY yards are the more active yards, because now people may not like to hear this, but like I said, a lot of those cats that went and rolled it up was usually behind drug debts, bad politics, so it landed them on the other side. There's very, very few, and they're just like diamonds, they're rare and precious, that will run whatever they're going through, bad politicking, or to clean their name up and get holes punched in them everywhere they go. Very few. There's an individual that came out on here. He was a former lifer. He shared his experience, and I've got to tip my hat to him, because that was one individual, because I watched one of his stories. He's a Christian. Free World Robert. He had gave a glimpse of his life and what he had to go through because he converted to becoming a Christian, and there was a lot of people that contested it. And it's that right there is an individual of a righteous mashika. We all say that we would do it, but if we were never put in that position, you can't really say how far you would take it, because I would like to believe that's the way I would do it, but I've never been put in that position, and I'm not about to try to find out either. That's why I've never went against the grain. Everyone has a breaking point. Pressure will break a lead pipe. And for those of you that know, it's just finding that pressure point where people will fold. You really have to do some serious digging on certain individuals more than others. But anyways, yes, I know I rambled on, and that's what I do. But yeah, back to the way prison is run nowadays. It's so much different. But yeah, those SNY yards, they kind of remind me of the LA County Jail, the way it's jumping off now. You know what I mean? It's like the only the strong survive. So you get individuals that roll it up because of bad politicking, this and that. It doesn't mean that they're fucking POSs, okay? We all know what a POS is. Them people with them fucked up charges, chesters, rapists, rats, you know what I mean? Those forever will be piece of shits to me. Now, an individual that rolled it up behind bad politics, hey, you're bad, G. You know what I mean? Really, I can't even say you're bad. You know what I mean? This individual did what he did, and he's on the other side, and he will always be labeled no good to me. Why? Because I still have that mentality, but I'm starting to understand a lot more now, because I see there's exceptions to the rules now. I'm a person that firmly believes anybody that goes to the chain of command and goes to speak on another individual or their wrongdoings, that's telling. No matter how you look at it, it's telling. Okay, I gave an example on my last video, and that makes you no different from the other guy. What? It's okay because you're going to report to the meseros? I was brought up during my time, if there was something that needed to be addressed and something, handle it. And after the dust is settled, then we figure it out. That's the way we ran it when I was younger, and that's what's instilled in me. I don't live behind them walls anymore. I'm out here in this real world where everything and anything that you do in life is what makes you or breaks you. This is what makes a difference by you putting up and showing up for your family and, being that productive citizen. It's really hard, man. I'm telling you, doing life behind them walls for me was easier than doing this. Every day is a challenge for me, And the reason is because, like I said, man, you live in a world with so much disrespect and people that really believe they know what time it is. And I had to bite down on my tongue on a lot of stuff. I had to humble myself at times because I know at the end of the day, I'll be the one that loses out. I have too much on my plate to lose people. But anyways, yeah, times have changed. I've heard certain individuals speak, and these are supposedly, I don't know, I cannot co-sign it, but they're high-ranking individuals, and they're on the horn talking. They have their reasons why they're doing it. I would never question it because I give my respect to all those that are still doing their thing behind the wall, and I don't co-sign to the existence of these organizations because as long as I remember, they're non-existent. So for those of you that are speaking them to existence, I believe you're playing a very dangerous game. Be wise with the words that you choose to use here on social media, because obviously the homies from back there are watching. And I tell you this from experience, because when I go to car shows, I run into homies that just parole and all that, and they come up to me, hey, what's up, carnal? They give me my props, and they support me. They say, hey, the homies back there, they be watching you, man. That's what's up, homie. You know what I mean? I just keep it respectful, you know what I mean? And they see that, because I'm not going to bring business that is going on behind the walls. And trust and believe, I could get into further detail on what's happening right there, because I always hear the whispers in the air. And I won't do it because I'm not going to jeopardize my standings and my safety. I paroled in good standings, and I will die in good standings. I don't speak neighborhood stuff, and I don't speak politics, because that's not for me. It's none of my business. The time that I've participated in the reindeer games are long done and gone. There's very few of us out here that are left. And that's real talk, man. We're like collector's items. We're rare and precious, baby. I'm telling you. This last time when I was going through Supermax, that fucking place was a circus. Straight up. You know what I mean? I'm just keeping it real and 100. It's ran differently. You know what I mean? And I gave an example because I seen something happen in this other pod right there. And it happened to be with one of the homies in another race. And I heard, well, first and foremost, what caught my attention is because I seen the people of the house yelling out, mind your own business, mind your own business. And what the fuck, they mind your own business? What's going on right here? You know what I mean? So it raises red flags for me right away, instantly. You know what I mean? The warrior status comes out of me. You got to keep in mind, I hadn't been in the joint for, a cool minute, man. I was out of the joint already probably for 9 years or something like that. On a good one, on a sick one. You know what I mean? So back in the system, times have changed. And these fools are yelling, hey, mind your own business. And I happen to notice, like I said, it was a homie getting down with another race. So what do? Dale gas, baby. I kicked that motherfucker off because that's the way I was raised. Okay? So that's one of the other reasons that I don't want to go back. It's not that I've ever wanted to go back, but, I don't play with fire anymore. I don't put myself in positions to land me back over there. I don't have time. There's not enough time left in my life to learn the new ways, and I don't want to. I'm instilled with the old ways. I'm old school. Yes, people say that I associate with certain individuals. No, this is social media. I don't know who these people are in person. I'm not kicking it with them. Trust and believe. I mentioned my homeboy that he thought he could run it to the fullest. And trust and believe, my homeboy was a straight runner. And the homies know which the homie I'm talking about. He went through the whole protocol and learned Nawata, everything fluently, sign language, and learned it properly, you know what I mean? And he just was done dirty, you know what I mean? He did what he did, and then he was dealt dirty, and now he's running on another way. And I know he was done dirty, and I told you guys in the past, I ran into him at the park, and he knew what time it was. I still got love for the homie, but I can't kick it with him, because I have my values and my morals because of the way I raised. I'm not going to put myself in harm's reach. He's no good. Even though I know he's a solid homie and he was done wrong, I can't kick it with him. So for those of you that are out here saying that I'm associated with certain individuals, I have no motherfucking idea. What puts you in the place of judging people and pulling covers on people? I mean, like I said, if you really feel that way about a person, go do your motherfucking thing. Stop trying to invite other people to your party. You know what I mean? It just ain't happening, man. Go handle it. That's the way a real one does it, at least back in my time. Well, anyways, people, with that being said, man, I think I went rambling on enough, and I think I touched enough on the system. If you guys want to hear a little bit more insight about the system, on what I think and the way that things have changes, and, you know, the end of hostilities and all that, let me know, man. I'll elaborate on that. I would love to elaborate on that, especially the end of hostilities, on what I think, you know. So anyways, thumbs up or thumbs down. Put your notification bell on all, and if you decide to subscribe, when you hit that notification bell, change it from personalized to all. Now, with that being said, if you want to get started on your fitness journey, shoot me a DM or email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. Now, with that being said, get up and get yours.